Jaws 1 and 2 captivated audiences as the ultimate summer blockbusters, redefining thrillers for generations. Nearly 50 years after the release of Jaws, 1975, and its sequel, Jaws 2, 1978, the iconic cast that brought the terror to life has taken diverse paths. From unforgettable performances to personal challenges and triumphs, where are they now in 2024? Join us as we dive into the lives of these stars, uncovering untold stories, career updates, and what became of the people behind the legendary shark saga. Roy Scheider was born on November 10, 1932, in Orange, New Jersey. He became iconic for his portrayal of Chief Martin Brody in Jaws, 1975, and Jaws 2, 1978, a role that showcased his ability to combine bravery with vulnerability. Scheider was 43 years old during the filming of Jaws. Before becoming a household name, he worked in television and film, earning critical acclaim for his role in The French Connection, 1971, for which he was nominated for an Academy Award. He later starred in All That Jazz, 1979, a role that earned him another Oscar nomination. His personal life, however, was filled with struggles. Scheider was married twice, first to Cynthia Bebo, with whom he had 2 children, and later to Brenda Seymour, with whom he had 1 more child. His career was often overshadowed by the pressures of fame, and he struggled with the consequences of being typecast in tough guy roles. In his later years, Scheider faced health challenges, particularly multiple myeloma, which eventually led to his death on February 10, 2008, at the age of 75. He passed away in the midst of his battle with the disease, leaving behind a legacy of remarkable film performances. Robert Shaw was born on August 9, 1927, in West Houghton, England. He is perhaps best remembered for his portrayal of Quint in Jaws, 1975, a character driven by a deep hatred for sharks, stemming from his traumatic past. Shaw was 48 years old when filming the iconic movie. A talented actor with a successful stage and film career, Shaw also had a strong presence in films like The Sting, 1973, and From Russia with Love, 1963. His life, however, was marked by personal struggles, particularly with alcoholism, which strained his relationships. Shaw was married 3 times and had 5 children, but his personal life was tumultuous, often exacerbated by his drinking. Despite these challenges, his professional life was filled with acclaim, though his health began to decline in his later years. Shaw tragically passed away from a heart attack on August 28, 1978, at the age of 51, just a few years after the success of Jaws. His death was a tragic loss to the film world, cutting short a career that had so much more to offer. Murray Hamilton was born on March 24, 1923, and played Mayor Larry Vaughn in Jaws, 1975, and Jaws 2, 1978. He was 52 years old when he began filming Jaws. A talented stage actor, Murray Hamilton found fame in film with his portrayal of the self-interested mayor of Amity Island, more concerned with keeping the town's economy afloat than with the safety of its residents. His character became one of the most memorable villains of the film. Hamilton's career spanned over 4 decades, but his personal life was often fraught with turmoil. He was married twice, with both marriages ending in divorce. His first wife, an actress, passed away in the early 1970s, a loss that deeply affected him. In the 1980s, Hamilton's health began to decline, and in 1986, he was diagnosed with lung cancer. He fought bravely against the illness but passed away on September 1, 1986, at the age of 63. Susan Backlany was born on September 1, 1946. She played Chrissy, the first shark attack victim, in Jaws, 1975. At the age of 29, she began filming the iconic horror film that would forever tie her to the franchise. Backlany's portrayal of Chrissy set the tone for the film, but despite this early fame, her career took an unexpected turn. Following her success in Jaws, she struggled to find similar roles that would allow her to establish herself as a leading actress. Personal difficulties added to her challenges, her marriage ended in a bitter divorce, and she faced financial hardship in the years that followed. Raising children as a single mother, Bany often spoke about the emotional toll it took on her, and she found it difficult to balance her career aspirations with family life. She was also known for her battles with depression and the feeling of isolation that came with being an actress who was often overlooked in the industry. Though she occasionally returned to acting in smaller projects, the major roles eluded her. Susan passed away on May 11, 2024, at the age of 77 due to a heart attack, leaving behind a legacy that was overshadowed by both professional and personal struggles. Chris Rebello was born on August 8, 1963. He played Michael Brody, the son of Chief Brody, in Jaws, 1975. At just 12 years old, Rebello became part of one of the most iconic films in cinematic history. His role as the courageous young boy who stands by his father during the shark crisis showed his early promise as an actor. However, as he grew older, his career never quite flourished as expected. Rebello's personal life was marred by issues related to substance abuse, which prevented him from realizing his potential in Hollywood. Family tensions also weighed heavily on him, and his relationship with his parents was often strained. Despite his early fame, Rebello faced financial instability and struggled to find work in his later years, leading to feelings of frustration and depression. His attempts to rebuild his career were unsuccessful, and his personal life continued to spiral downward. Chris Rebello tragically passed away on November 30, 2000, at the age of 37, from a heart attack, his life marked by internal battles and missed opportunities. Lee Fiero was born on February 13, 1929. She played Mrs. Kintner in Jaws, 1975, a role that marked a tragic moment in the film when she confronts Chief Brody after losing her son to the shark. Fiero was 46 years old when she began filming Jaws. Growing up, Lee showed an early interest in theater, later pursuing an acting career in both stage and film. While she had some success on the stage, her personal life was marked by hardships. She married once but struggled with balancing her professional aspirations and family life. Fiero had children, but it was said that her marriage was strained, leading to a difficult family dynamic. Tragically, she faced the loss of close family members during her life, with a few instances of financial instability. Despite these challenges, Lee continued to work in the theater and had a passion for teaching, which became a major part of her later career. Fiero passed away on April 5, 2020, at the age of 91 due to complications from COVID-19. Robert Nevin was born on October 9, 1914, and he played the role of the medical examiner in Jaws, 1975, at the age of 61. The character, while not central, is critical in the early investigation of the shark's attacks. Nevin, like many actors in minor roles, didn't see his career explode after Jaws, though his work in film and television continued. Unfortunately, details about his personal life are sparse, and little is known about his family or relationships. There were reports of him facing financial struggles after his time in Hollywood, and some sources mention personal losses during his later years. He didn't achieve the fame that others from Jaws enjoyed, and his life after the film was often filled with uncertainty. His tragic struggle with his identity and career reflected in the unseen aspects of the movie industry. Sadly, Robert Nevin passed away on March 6, 1997 at the age of 82, with his cause of death remains disclosed. Peter Benchley was born on May 8, 1940, and is most famous for his role as the interviewer in Jaws, 1975. He was 35 years old when he started filming. Benchley's career, however, is defined by more than just his brief appearance in Jaws. He was the author of the novel upon which the film was based. Benchley's life and career were marked by the rise to fame that Jaws brought, but he also encountered periods of intense pressure and public scrutiny. His fame came with a personal cost, as Benchley struggled with maintaining a work-life balance. He was married to Wendy Benchley, with whom he had 3 children. However, despite the outward success, Peter faced inner turmoil, especially regarding the environmental issues that his novel and the film later highlighted. He became deeply regretful of his contribution to the fear of sharks, later becoming a vocal advocate for their conservation. Benchley also faced the difficult realities of aging and the changing entertainment industry, making it a hard adjustment after his earlier success. He passed away on February 11, 2006, at the age of 65 due to pulmonary fibrosis. Fritzy Jane Courtney was born on February 15, 1923, in Boston, Massachusetts. She played Mrs. Taft in Jaws, 1975, and Jaws 2, 1978, a role that showcased her talent for portraying friendly, nurturing characters. At 52 years old when she filmed Jaws, Courtney had a solid career in film and television, but her personal life was far from easy. She struggled with an unhappy marriage to an alcoholic man, which led to a painful divorce. Raising her only daughter on her own, Courtney faced financial challenges and later found it difficult to secure steady acting roles. Despite this, she remained active in theater and small television parts throughout the years. She also endured several health issues in her later years, including heart problems. Although she kept a low profile, her death was marked by fond memories from her colleagues and fans alike. Fritzy Jane Courtney passed away on August 7, 2012, at the age of 89 due to natural causes, having lived a long, though difficult, life. Belle McDonald was born on April 6, 1926, in Chicago, Illinois. She is best remembered for her role as Mrs. Posner in Jaws, 1975, where she played a concerned, well-meaning woman living on Amity Island. At 49 years old when filming Jaws, McDonald had already built a career in theater and television, but her life outside of acting was riddled with personal struggles. She had been married twice, with both unions ending in divorce due to her husband's infidelity and financial problems. McDonald had 2 children, one of whom tragically died from a rare illness when they were very young. This loss deeply affected her, and she struggled with depression in the years that followed. Her career slowed down after Jaws, and she spent her later years out of the limelight, often battling loneliness. Despite these hardships, McDonald remained a resilient and graceful figure. She passed away on November 20, 2015, at the age of 89, from natural causes, after years of living a quiet, private life. Joseph Mcall was born on March 13, 1929, in West Hartford, Connecticut. Known for his role as Len Peterson in Jaws 2, 1978, Mcall played a wealthy businessman in the midst of the shark crisis, a character who was often at odds with Chief Brody. He was 49 years old when he filmed Jaws 2, and by that time, he had already established himself as a versatile actor in theater, television, and film. Mcall's personal life, however, was tumultuous. He married 3 times, with each relationship ending in divorce, and he had 2 children. His career success often took a toll on his family life, leading to strained relationships with his children. In his later years, Mcall faced the challenge of Alzheimer's disease, which affected his memory and ability to work. Despite his health struggles, he continued to take on acting roles in smaller projects. His death on December 8, 2016, at the age of 87, was attributed to complications from Alzheimer's, marking the end of a long and varied career. Colin Wilcox Paxton was born on February 4, 1935, in New York City. She portrayed Dr. Elkins in Jaws 2, 1978, a character who helps treat the victims of the shark attacks. Paxton was 43 years old during the filming of Jaws 2. She had a promising career in television and film, with notable appearances in To Kill a Mockingbird, 1962, and the Twilight Zone series. However, her personal life was marked by several tragedies. She was married twice, first to actor and writer Paul Paxton, with whom she had a daughter, and later to lawyer Robert J. Weil, though both marriages ended in divorce. Paxton's career was overshadowed by personal loss and the burden of multiple family struggles. Tragically, on October 14, 2009, she passed away at the age of 74 after battling brain cancer. Her death marked the end of a life full of both professional promise and personal hardship. Barry Coe was born on November 26, 1934, and played the role of Andrews in Jaws 2, 1978. He was 44 years old when he began filming the movie. Coe's early life in Los Angeles was filled with ambition and a passion for acting, which led him to a career in both film and television. In Jaws 2, his portrayal of the responsible and diligent character Andrews showcased his ability to bring a sense of purpose and integrity to the screen. Outside of his professional success, Barry's personal life was marked by struggles and tragedy. He was married twice, though both marriages ended in divorce. Despite the public image of a successful actor, Barry faced deep emotional turmoil, including a period of financial instability and the heartbreak of losing close family members. He never had children of his own, which weighed heavily on him as he aged. Coe found some solace in his later years, living a quiet life away from the spotlight. He passed away on July 16, 2019, at the age of 84 due to natural causes, leaving behind a legacy of television and film appearances but also a life shaped by personal difficulties. Susan French was born on January 23, 1912, and played the old lady in Jaws 2, 1978. She was 66 years old when she began filming the movie. French, a seasoned actress with a long career in theater, television, and film, took on the minor but memorable role of the old lady in Jaws 2. Her early years were filled with dramatic experiences, as she struggled with a career in an industry that was difficult for women to navigate in the early years. Susan married once but never had children, and her marriage was not a happy one, ending in divorce after many years of emotional strain. Throughout her career, Susan found success in minor roles, but her personal life was often overshadowed by her loneliness and struggle with depression. She faced financial hardships during her later years, despite her acting career. Susan passed away on April 6, 2003, at the age of 91, due to natural causes, having lived a life that, while filled with creative achievements, was deeply marked by personal hardships and solitude. Gary Dubin was born on May 5, 1959. He played Ed in Jaws 2, 1978, a fun-loving teenager who becomes one of the shark's victims. Dubin was 19 years old when he began filming the movie, but his life took a tragic turn shortly after his early success in film. His character's role in Jaws 2 was one of the more memorable moments, but after the film's release, Dubin faced struggles in the entertainment industry. He was unable to build on his success, and his career largely stalled. In his personal life, Dubin encountered several painful experiences, including the breakdown of his marriage and the subsequent emotional toll it took. His health began to decline in the late 2000s, and he was diagnosed with bone cancer. The disease progressed quickly, and he passed away on October 8, 2016, at the age of 57. His death came as a devastating blow to his family, and his passing marked the end of a life that had been filled with both promising beginnings and heartbreaking challenges. Mark Gilpin was born on September 26, 1966, and played Sean Brody in Jaws 2, 1978. He was just 12 years old when he began filming the movie, portraying the courageous son of Chief Brody who was thrust into danger during the shark attacks. Gilpin's life took a tragic turn after his success in the film. While his career continued, it was not without hardship. Mark struggled with personal tragedies, including the loss of close family members and periods of financial instability. His personal relationships also faced difficulties, as he went through a tumultuous marriage that ended in divorce. Despite his best efforts, Gilpin was not able to regain the fame or stability he once enjoyed, and in later years, he was diagnosed with glioblastoma, a terminal form of brain cancer. He passed away on July 29, 2023, at the age of 56, leaving behind a legacy of both fond memories from his childhood acting days and the pain of his personal battles. Carl Gottlieb was born on March 18, 1938, and played the newspaper editor Harry Meadows in Jaws, 1975. He was 37 years old when he began filming Jaws. Born in New York, Gottlieb had a strong background in writing and comedy before entering the film industry. He became involved with Jaws not only as an actor but also as one of the film's screenwriters. His role as Harry Meadows, the diligent newspaper editor, was a perfect fit for his career, showcasing his ability to bring depth and intelligence to his characters. Despite his success in Hollywood, Gottlieb faced significant personal hardships. He married twice, with both marriages ending in divorce. His first wife died from cancer in the early 1980s, a loss that profoundly impacted him. He also struggled with the pressures of balancing a demanding career and family life. Though he faced several personal tragedies, including the loss of his wife and the difficulties of a complicated family life, Gottlieb continued to thrive in Hollywood. At 86 years old, he remains a respected figure in the industry, although he has scaled back his public appearances. Jeffrey Kramer was born on July 15, 1945. He played Deputy Hendricks in Jaws, 1975, and Jaws 2, 1978. He was 30 years old when he began filming Jaws. Kramer's portrayal of the loyal yet somewhat naive deputy earned him recognition, though his career did not reach the same heights afterward. Early in his life, Kramer faced a number of personal hardships, including a difficult childhood marked by financial struggles. His marriage was short-lived, and he faced another setback with a second marriage that was also filled with turmoil, leading to a second divorce. His career in Hollywood faltered as he found it increasingly difficult to secure major roles after the Jaws franchise, leading him to appear in smaller, less significant films. In addition, he battled with depression, which affected both his personal life and his professional prospects. Despite these challenges, Kramer attempted to maintain his privacy, distancing himself from the public eye. Now at the age of 79, he lives a quiet, more secluded life, far from the spotlight, and has avoided any major public appearances or engagements. Richard Dreyfuss was born on October 29, 1947, in Brooklyn, New York. He gained widespread fame for his role as Matt Hooper, the intelligent and passionate marine biologist in Jaws, 1975, a film that would solidify his place in Hollywood. Dreyfuss was 28 years old when filming Jaws, and his career soared after the film, with starring roles in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, 1977, and The Goodbye Girl, 1977, the latter earning him an Academy Award. However, his personal life was marked by challenges, including struggles with addiction and anger issues. He was married 3 times, with 3 children from his marriages. Dreyfuss faced significant personal difficulties, including public battles with substance abuse, but managed to rebuild his life and career over time. Now at 77, he continues to work in film and television, with a career that has spanned decades. Despite the ups and downs, Dreyfuss's legacy as a talented actor remains intact, even as his personal life has been marked by both triumphs and tribulations. Lorraine Gary was born on August 16, 1937, and portrayed Ellen Brody in Jaws, 1975, and Jaws 2, 1978. She was 38 years old when she began filming Jaws. Lorraine grew up in Chicago, developing a love for acting that would shape her career. She made her acting debut in the 1960s, appearing in several films and television series, but it was her role in Jaws that cemented her place in Hollywood history. As Ellen Brody, she played the supportive and worried wife of Chief Brody, adding emotional depth to the character. Off-screen, Lorraine's life was marked by personal challenges. She married Sidney Sheinberg, a top executive at Universal Pictures, in 1976, and the couple had 2 children. Despite her professional success, Lorraine's personal life was not without its difficulties. She experienced the heartache of losing a child to a rare illness, a tragedy that deeply affected her. She took a break from acting after Jaws 2 to focus on her family, though her marriage faced its own struggles in later years. Lorraine has remained largely private in her later years, and now, at 87, she lives a quieter life, reflecting on a career that left a lasting impact on film history. Ann Dusenberry was born on September 13, 1953, in Norfolk, Virginia. She played Tina Wilcox in Jaws 2, 1978, a character who becomes a target of the shark during a boating trip with friends. Dusenberry was 25 when she began filming the movie. She had an early start in her career, appearing in several TV shows and films, including Airplane 2, the sequel, 1982. Despite her early success, her personal life was tumultuous, marked by struggles in relationships and professional setbacks. She was married to actor and director Terry Kaiser, but their marriage ended in divorce. Dusenberry faced challenges in finding roles that matched the success of Jaws 2, leading to a period of personal and professional stagnation. Today, at 71 years old, she remains out of the public eye, having mostly stepped away from the entertainment industry in recent years. Her story is one of youthful promise overshadowed by an unfulfilled career and complicated personal experiences. MarkGruner was born on December 29, 1958, in California. He played Mike Brody, the brave son of Chief Brody, in Jaws 2, 1978, taking on the challenge of facing the shark in order to protect his family and friends. Gruner was only 20 years old when he started filming Jaws 2. His career seemed poised for success after the film, but he faced numerous obstacles that prevented him from becoming a household name. Gruner's personal life was filled with hardships, including his struggle to maintain long-term relationships. He was married once, though the marriage ended in divorce, and he did not have any children. Professionally, he never quite achieved the level of fame that Jaws 2 suggested, with his career fading into relative obscurity. Now at 66, Gruner lives a quieter life, largely removed from the Hollywood spotlight, having had to come to terms with the unpredictability of the industry and personal challenges that shaped his life. Donna Wilkes was born on November 11, 1958. She played Jackie in Jaws 2, 1978, a role she took on when she was just 20 years old. Jackie is a courageous and spirited young woman who fights for her survival during the shark attacks. Wilkes' career started with great promise, and Jaws 2 seemed to be the beginning of her rise in Hollywood. However, despite her talent, she found herself struggling to find significant roles after her breakthrough performance. Her personal life, too, was filled with turmoil. Wilkes had a difficult time maintaining relationships, with a marriage that ended in divorce shortly after it began. She also faced financial difficulties, especially as her acting career stagnated. Wilkes dealt with a deep sense of frustration as she navigated Hollywood's pressures and her own insecurities. Her emotional struggles were compounded by health issues, including depression, which further affected her career and personal happiness. Now 66 years old, Wilkes has stepped away from the entertainment industry and lives a quieter life, far from the fame she once experienced. Gary Springer was born on July 29, 1954, and portrayed Andy in Jaws 2, 1978. He was 24 years old when he began filming the movie. Gary's early life was typical for a teenager with big dreams in Hollywood, and Jaws 2 marked a major opportunity for him in the film industry. As Andy, the spirited and adventurous teenager, he became a part of one of the most iconic horror franchises in cinema history. However, Gary's life off-screen was far from easy. His career never fully took off after Jaws 2, and he struggled with finding stable roles in the entertainment industry. His personal life was marked by a series of failed relationships and deep personal insecurities, which led to substance abuse and depression. Gary's marriage was brief and ended in a bitter divorce, and he never had children. He later faced financial difficulties and was reportedly estranged from many of his family members. Now 70 years old, Gary has stayed largely out of the public eye, living a quiet life away from the Hollywood spotlight, having found some peace in his later years despite his turbulent past. John Dukakis was born on June 9, 1958. He played Polo in Jaws 2, 1978, a role he took on when he was 20 years old. Polo is a brave and resourceful character who plays a vital role during the shark attacks. Dukakis' acting career began with much promise, and Jaws 2 seemed like the perfect launching pad for his future. However, he struggled to find substantial roles after the film, and his career stagnated. On a personal level, Dukakis faced a series of difficult relationships, including a marriage that ended in divorce. The failure of his personal life mirrored the struggles in his professional career. Despite some attempts to return to acting, Dukakis found it difficult to regain his footing in the industry. Over the years, he grappled with financial instability and emotional distress, leading him to retreat from public life. Now 66 years old, Dukakis lives a quiet and private life, far removed from the Hollywood spotlight he once briefly occupied. David Elliot was born on September 21, 1959, and played the role of Larry in Jaws 2, 1978. At 19 years old, he began filming the sequel, bringing to life a character who was responsible and helpful in assisting with efforts to confront the shark threat. David's early life was marked by a desire to pursue acting, and he had some success in his youth. However, his career after Jaws 2 did not reach the same heights. He found himself in a series of less prominent roles, and his personal life became strained. Elliot married young, but his marriage was filled with conflict and eventually ended in divorce. He did have children, but reports suggest that his relationship with them was distant, marked by difficulties in communication and unresolved emotional issues. Throughout his life, David faced the realities of financial struggles and the fleeting nature of Hollywood fame, which took a toll on his mental health. Despite these challenges, he has remained largely out of the public eye in recent years, now at the age of 65, living a quiet life away from the spotlight. Keith Gordon was born on February 3, 1961, and played Doug in Jaws 2, 1978. He was 17 years old when he began filming the sequel, taking on the role of a fun-loving teenager caught up in the shark attacks. Keith Gordon's early acting career showed great promise, and he found himself in several prominent films during his youth. However, his personal and professional life took a downward turn in his adult years. As his acting career waned, Gordon struggled to find meaningful roles and faced the harsh realities of an industry that could be unforgiving. His relationships were strained, and he went through a failed marriage that left him emotionally drained. Additionally, Gordon had to deal with the pressures of mental health issues, and there were times when he sought solace in isolation. Despite these challenges, Keith turned to directing and found a new path in the industry, though his journey was not without hardship. Now 63 years old, he has managed to maintain a modest career, though he remains a figure defined by the ups and downs of his life. Who's your favorite character from Jaws? How do you feel knowing that some of the actors have passed away? Don't hesitate to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this content, please remember to like, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you won't miss future videos. Thank you so much.